You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk radio.
Hello there, welcome back. This is Kat Hobson, and you are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I am so glad that you're here with us. We are having the best time. I'm telling you about some of the events that I experienced and the happenings down in Pasadena, California at AlienCon 2018. It was brilliant. I had so much information thrown at me in such a short time. I was very fortunate that I was one of those allowed to be able to record some of them. They were very picky and very restrictive, or very strict on the use of my audio clips. That's why this whole show isn't just a whole lineup of nothing but audio, right? Because it could have been with no problem. I was so fortunate to get to see some of the people that I did. I met new ones. I met people I'd known for a few years. I was able to get to spend time, not nearly enough, conversing with Linda Moulton Howe. She is the woman of the hour at these things, I'm telling you. She is full of information. She will have a conversation with you in a heartbeat, standing in the middle of a hallway, explaining the concept that she tried to get over in her panel if you didn't get it, or if you needed additional information to be able to do your own research. And she'll direct you to her earthfiles.com website so that you can go and find the information and peruse it at your leisure. You know, sometimes this is a lot of heavy stuff. Some of it's really heavy, especially her work. She's done everything. I think one of the most fascinating topics that she was involved in was with the animal mutilations, which sounds really upsetting and sick, and it is. There's a reason for that. The whole experience of a rancher coming out and finding livestock with internal organs just gone. No blood, no grossness whatsoever, just hearts missing or reproduction organs gone. Udders. I mean, weird stuff. There's so much weird stuff that happens. I have an acquaintance, we used to be co-hosts at a different network, who was very much into that kind of research. She was leaning more toward the laser surgeries and things of that nature, and she had someone that she was working with who actually found that a laser had struck her dog. The dog was dead from that, and when they went to the vet, it was burned. And I cannot fathom that happening. I'm so attached to animals, and I really actually try to stay on top of this stuff. And Daniel in chat says that they used to claim it was a chupacabra or something like that, and then it was UFOs and all kinds of other stories. But I do know that the people who have spoken to Linda have told them, sheriffs in different departments in the areas that these things happened have told her there is nothing else it can be. It has to be UFOs. These are not attacks. There's no blood. There's no surgical incisions. There's no anything. There's nothing else it could be. So it wasn't animal attacks. It wasn't wolves, obviously. But fascinating stuff, right? Because chupacabras are supposed to be dog-like, and they can't do stitches. So, or super glue. My son super glues when he gets cut. But anyway, you know, one of the next things that I wanted to share with you was the fascinating experience I had listening to Remy Romani. He is fairly new to the show, I think. He's an Egyptologist. He is brilliant. He's funny. He is great with kids based on what I saw in his panel when he was taking questions. One of the best questions came from a young man who was maybe 8, and it was good. And I liked it because when he said, he got up to the microphone and had to tippy-toe, and he said, "I have a question." And Remy said, "Ask." So he did. I mean, just really a good attitude. But I wanted to share this because I felt so he was overwhelmed a little bit, but you know what? He did such a great job. Here you go.
History of Egypt. Not an easy topic to talk about. Egypt is the longest lasting civilization, ancient civilization. From the first ancient Egyptian king to the last ancient Egyptian king is more in time than from the last ancient Egyptian king to today.
Yes, he had less than an hour to do all of that information and take questions. Brilliant, brilliant person. The thing that really surprised me is his take on it, that you absolutely, again, have to see this, because it's easy to kind of maybe blow it off a little bit if you're not standing there on Giza looking up at this, seeing the machining, seeing the precision of the blocks coming together besides the machining. The workmanship just astounding. And I found it really neat when he said that when you go, people are always stunned simply because there's stuff everywhere. There's pieces of stuff everywhere, all protected, right, by the Department of Antiquities, but still, it's all there. And he told shared an experience of being caught in a sandstorm. People were running. He looked back. They were like, "Take shelter, it's a sandstorm." And he was like, "Well, it's not even close." And about that time, got a mouthful of sand, right, because they move fast. And when it finally came over them and they were done, things were uncovered. There were things that the sand had blown off of that had to be reburied. And it was just really an interesting experience to hear of, because there's laws about that. Egypt has so much of that happening that they had to make laws. So I thought that was interesting too. And one of the things that really fascinated me was when he was talking about the different sites through Egypt. They're not all just in one place. Some of them are still buried so deeply that the tops aren't even showing. So those are so much older than what we see when we look at the pictures in magazines and books, or when we watch the shows. And the stuff that shows is ancient aliens, right? But the stuff that's buried is that much older still. And I think that when he explained it with this, it was really a fantastic thing. Let's see.
From the first ancient Egyptian king to the last ancient Egyptian king is more in time than from the last ancient Egyptian king to today.
The time just goes back forever. Forever. You know, I found that almost the exact same experience when I listened to Giorgio on a different location. It's the same thing. It's all everywhere. You know, it's just really fascinating to me. The one of the things that I thought was just amazing also was the fact that all of these tombs have been, well, they've been raided. They've been robbed. And one of the things that was just way too nifty was that they found one that wasn't. It's the only one in the Valley of Kings that they found that is not robbed. And that was the question that this young man brought to Remy, which was, what is the significance? You know, he didn't rule very long. There wasn't much to him. What is the significance of King Tut's tomb? And this is the answer.
His tomb was the only tomb that we have discovered of the King's Valley that was not robbed by tomb raiders. So everything was there, and that's why it's so famous. Because all the treasures of King Tut's tomb fills a whole story in the second story of the Egyptian Museum.
Can you imagine? Can you just imagine what one of the higher kings would have had if this is, you know, the things that we see are what were in Tut's? It's amazing. It's just astounding what they can anticipate having been there.